Why are White House officials then meeting with Representative Boebert in an effort to try and get her to not sign this petition calling for the release of the files?
Doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please? Doesn't that show our level of transparency? Doesn't that show the level of transparency when we are willing to sit down with members of Congress and address their concerns?
Today, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt confirmed that the Trump administration met with Lauren Boebert, one of the few Republicans in Congress who wants the Epstein files released. Now, this is relevant considering that the House of Representatives can finally force a vote on the issue today. Now, Jank, we spent a lot of time this hour talking about it, but what do you make of this angle specifically?
So I think that this proves something pretty definitively, that it involves intelligence agencies. I'll explain why in a minute after Jordan gives you the whole story. But I also wanted to point out, she said, they met with her to address her concerns. Why? Did Lauren Boebert have concerns regarding the FBI and the Attorney General in regards to the Epstein vote? Why would she have those concerns? Did she ask for the meeting? And if she did, does she have national security concerns around Epstein? Because that would be a very interesting story. So none of this makes any sense, but we'll make sense of it for you.
Now, here's what you need to know. Today, Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva has finally been sworn into Congress. And with her support, the House of Representatives can force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. That effort has been led by Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie. They need 218 signatures on a discharge petition to force a vote on releasing the files. Grijalva was the 218th. All of the House Democrats are on board with forcing that vote. A few Republicans are as well. And here is that list excluding Massie, who we already mentioned. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Nancy Mace. Now, the Trump administration is trying to keep the files hidden. According to anonymous sources who spoke with the New York Times, yesterday, Trump spoke with Boebert on the phone. Today, Boebert was summoned to a meeting in the White House Situation Room with Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and others. The Times sources stated that Trump has been trying to connect with Mace, but she has yet to pick up his calls. Meanwhile, Trump is crashing out on Truth Social once again. Writing here, the Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country while at the same time putting many at risk. And they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republican involved should be focused only on opening up our country and fixing the massive damage caused by the Democrats. In other words, he continued, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try and deflect from their massive failures. In particular, their most recent one, the shutdown. Jank, this is very bizarre. You're pulling a member of Congress who's on the other side of an issue into the Situation Room. Why not an Oval Office sit down? Why not meeting at the departments? Why not going to her office? It seems like there's a layer of sensitivity here that Karoline Leavitt accidentally disclosed.
No, they just gave away the game. It's definitely about national security. There's no other reason to be in the Situation Room. There's no other reason to have the Attorney General and the FBI Director there. This is a vote in Congress. It has nothing to do with them. So apparently, it is national security. So that means Epstein and Maxwell did not work alone. Period. Period. End of conversation. So now the logical next question is, so who did they work with? Now, we've already told you in other stories, and now backed up by Dropsite News' brilliant 4-part series, there is absolutely no question which country Epstein worked with. It was Israel. So that's not conjecture, it's not a conspiracy theory. He had Ehud Barak, the former prime minister, over 30 times. That was already public knowledge, everybody knew that. Ghislaine Maxwell's dad is Robert Maxwell, probably the most legendary Mossad spy of all time, stole America's nuclear secrets, gave it to Israel. But you say, okay, that's her dad. Okay, maybe the Israeli prime minister was just visiting coincidentally, or maybe he was a pervert himself. All those things are possible. But now we know through drop site news, no. Epstein and Ehud Barak and Israeli spy, by the way, also current Israeli spy at the time, now deceased, all working together. And what were they working together on? Working on getting Putin to back out of Syria so that they could topple the Assad regime, which Israel was opposed to, and attacking Iran and pushing America into a war with Iran and with Syria. So it's not at all a mystery which government Epstein was working with. It's definitive now. You could go read it for yourself. We have Epstein's emails, we have Ehud Barak's emails. So there's no lack of clarity. Epstein was working with Israel, and now if you're gonna vote on this, they're gonna pull you into the Situation Room and lecture you on how you're not allowed to vote to tell the American people what actually happened, and how a special ally might not be an ally at all, okay? So now, I'm so frustrated by this. I assume they speak in coded language. I don't know, I'm not in the Situation Room. But do they literally tell Boebert, that's it, you work for Israel, and shut up and do as you're told? Or do they use interesting coded language? Will Boebert ever tell us what they actually said, right? So, but now it doesn't matter, it's moot. Why is it moot? Not just because Grijalva was sworn in, but Jordan, there's a chance that these guys are mega dumb. I don't mean the Israelis, they're the people that worked on this. It's not all Israelis, but whoever worked on this in Israeli intelligence was brilliant and kept it hidden with the convenient help of almost all of mainstream media, and almost every American politician kept it hidden for decades. No, I'm talking about Trump and his cronies. There's some chance the dumbasses didn't know if the House passes it, that doesn't really mean anything. It has to go to the Senate, and you have a squadron of corrupt senators who would love to serve Israel and block this. So that's another bite at the apple, but even then it doesn't matter, because if you get past the Senate, the president has to sign off on it. And of course he's gonna veto it, because he's all over the Epstein files, and he's desperately trying to prevent Epstein files being released. So what are they panicking about, right? So they pull in these guys, oh, don't vote on it. And so why do I say that there might be idiots and not realize that? Because guys, what happened after Grijalva got seated, and apparently the beseechment of Nancy Mason Boebert didn't work, is all of a sudden now Republicans are coming out right after that and going, oh yeah, I was gonna vote to release it too. Of course you were, of course you were. So now Warren Davidson, Eli Crane, and Don Bacon have now come out, now that it's clear that they're gonna lose the vote. Yeah, I meant release it. Of course, I don't work for Israel. I mean, all that AIPAC money and stuff. No. I don't work for Epstein. I'm not trying to cover up for Epstein and all of his crimes and raping American children. No. I meant release it. We lost the vote, right? For sure, Israel's not gonna punish me. Okay, yeah, we lost the vote. Okay, yeah, I meant to release it. There's some chance they didn't know that it has, you idiots, it has to go to the Senate and the president. You didn't know that? Anyways, okay, Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of enamored with these people trying to save face at the last minute. Like, no, we saw where you were. We saw people try to deflect, cover for Trump. You had months to do this. They all wanted to run on it. They all wanted to work people up into a frenzy, thinking the only person who would be implicated would be Bill Clinton or I guess a couple people, Bill Gates and a few other people that could, project as Democrats. But now that it's implicating their guys, suddenly it's much more complicated. Let's not rush to anything. So what's interesting here is some of the people involved, of course, but also how, again, they've showed their hand accidentally. And beyond the Epstein stuff, we've spent a lot of time this hour talking about it. To me, it underscores just how inept this administration is. Because Karoline Leavitt I don't think she meant to reveal where that meeting took place. But in doing so, she told us so much more than they actually want out there. They could have just said in the White House. They could have said whatever. They had a meeting. It didn't have to be where specifically it was held. And we might even see them try to walk that back tomorrow as more and more people start to connect the dots. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. But this is a team of dunces that Trump has put together, all because they're loyal to him and they are in service of him. We've talked about it a lot, of course, but just Pam Bondi being in that meeting, yes, part of it is because it's probably a national security issue, probably an intelligence community issue, but also her job is just protecting Trump. He's totally politicized the FBI. That's a bad thing. We see it across the board, but it's like a secondary thing in this story because this main topic is so awful, so heinous, and so large. But also, again, it's another reminder that he has weaponized these departments.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with the last irony here, which is that Karoline Leavitt described trying to desperately block the release of the Epstein files as their efforts at transparency. We're now fully in 1984 Orwellian state, where everyone in government agrees that lies are truth and truth are lies. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.